In the previous sessions, we discussed about initiation, elongation. Now we'll take up termination process. The objective of this session is to study various aspects of the termination of translation in prokaryotic system. The two events which take place in the process of termination. So we can divide these events into two events, the event 1, event 2. In this one, the first event, recognition of stop codons. Stop codons are there. So three stop codons are there that are to be recognized. The second aspect of hydrolysis, okay, and release of polypeptide. Polypeptide which is synthesized, which is present at the P site attached to the transfer RNA, that has to be released. That shall be released. So there are some releasing factors are there. Releasing factors are there. So we can call them RFS. RFS are the releasing factor. What are these releasing factor? What are the different types of releasing factor? So there are different classes, class 1 and class 2. So class 1 and class 2. What is the role of class 1? So it recognizes stop codon recognition. It is stop codon recognition. That is the one aspect, and trigger the hydrolysis. Trigger the process of hydrolysis of polypeptide, and so that it can be released. Okay, then this one, as far as the class 2 is concerned, class 2, the stimulate the release of class 1, and after the release of polypeptide. Okay, release of polypeptide. Now we'll study what are the different types of these releasing factors. So let me take the releasing factors. So class 1 releasing factors. So in the prokaryotic system, here we can say prokaryotic system and eukaryotic system, class 1. So in the class 1, here it is RF1 and RF2, whereas here it is ERF, only 1. Okay, then here again, so RF1, it recognizes USG stop codon, and RF2 UGA, and so both the recognize UAA. So this ERF recognizes all three stop codons. Then again, so this is the one aspect. Okay, then when in prokaryotic system we take up this one, the class 2, and also eukaryotic system, class 2 system. Okay, so here it is RF3, so here it is ERF3. Then next is, so this RF3 is associated with okay, the GTP. It is similar to the EF2. Okay, sorry, similar to EFG. It is similar to EFG and IF2. Okay, IF2. So EFTU. Okay, similar to this one as for the association of the GTP is concerned. But this RF3, there is one difference is there. It has got less affinity towards the GTP but more affinity towards the GDP. Whereas these, they have the more affinity towards the GTP. So that is the difference. Okay. Then what are these RFs, releasing factors? They are, we can say, proteins. They are proteins. Okay. How they recognize? So there is protein RNA interaction, protein RNA interactions. So okay, so it mediate whatever is happening, it mediates. So there is a 3 amino acid sequence is there. So what we can say is, so there is a 3 amino acid sequence is there, 3 amino acid sequence. So that we call it protein codon. We call it protein codon. Okay. And this protein codon interacts with and so recognizes the stop codon. It interacts and recognizes, okay, stop codon, and then further action is taking place. The next aspect is, let us start where we left, that is at elongation. Okay, this is 5 prime, here codon, okay, codon, and so here stop codon, and 3 prime. Okay, then here it is. Okay, this is P site, E site, A site. Here it is like this. Okay, at the end of the elongation process. So there is a polypeptide is present. A long chain of polypeptide is present. Okay. So long chain of polypeptide is present. So formyl methionine at amino terminal end. Okay. Then what happens to this one? So there is the binding is taking place. What is that binding? Which one is binding it? So okay, which one is binding it? So RF1 is binding it. So the binding of RF1 is taking place. Also, so there is factor binding center is here. Then next is, so we have this one here, it is the protein code. So we can say, so this one is RF1. Okay, so here it is factor binding center. Okay, factor binding center. This one is protein codon. Here it is protein codon. Okay, this is what it is happening. Once the binding is taking place, so what happens here? The binding taking place and hydrolysis is taking place. Once hydrolysis is taking place, here the separation is taking place from the transfer RNA. So releasing polypeptide. So it is releasing polypeptide, is taking place. Okay. Simultaneously, so there is a binding of the RF3. Here it is called RF3 with a GTP. It is RF3 with GTP. So okay, so that occupies again at what? So A site, that occupies at the A site. So let us see again 5 prime. So codon and then stop codon. Here it is codon and stop codon at 3 prime. Okay, then here it is. Okay, then here it is. Okay, then so deacylated transfer RNA, here also deacylated transfer RNA. Then what we have here it is the RF1. Then we have this particular one. Okay, then GTP, here RF3. Okay, GTP. Then we have here the factor binding center, and then so there is, so okay, that is protein codon. Okay, in the next aspect, what is happening? What is the next step? Is here in this next step, GTP is hydrolyzed. So the GTP is hydrolyzed. GTP is hydrolyzed to GDP. So conformational changes in ribosome taking place. Conformational changes in ribosome is taking place. So leading to the release of this RF1. Leading to the release of this RF1. Once this RF1 is released, then once RF1 is released, then what is the next scenario? Okay, then here it is codon, then stop codon is here, and 3 prime, then let us see here. Okay, then again here, okay, deacylated transfer RNA because they are removed, and A site, Then in this A site, so we have, this is the RF3. This is RF3 and GDP, RF3 and GDP, and so factor binding center. Okay. See here we can see RF3 GDP is present here. So RF3 GDP. So what happens? Binding has taken place, RF1 is released. But this RF3 GDP is there, then the affinity between these two is increased. Then, so because of this one, so there may be decreases affinity between this ribosome part or this amino acid side part. So what happens? So this will lead to the release of this RF3 GDP. So RF3 GDP. Okay, GDP. So it is taking place. So then see the scenario, what it looks like. Here you can see how it looks like. So again, I am writing the codon and stop codon. Here, stop codon. So 3 prime. Here it is like this. Okay. Then, so deacylated transfer RNA. Then deacylated transfer RNA. So here again, so what we have is, here it is there, the factor binding center is present because yes, RF3 is released. Then in the next case, next what happens? Still what it is associated? So deacylated transfer RNA and messenger RNA, ribosome is in a 70S form. Suppose if next round, for a new round has to take place, so what is the option? So in this, for the new round to take place, some changes has to take place. That is removal of the deacylated transfer RNA, deacylated, so transfer RNA, so present at the P site and E site. Second thing is removal of messenger RNA. The third event which has to take place here, suppose this is the 70S, the 70S has to be separated into 50S and 30S. Here 30S. Okay, that has to take place. So here what happens? This process we call it ribosome, okay, recycling aspect. So ribosome recycling, so there is a factor is present. So that is called ribosome, okay, recycling factor. So that comes and occupies the A site. So that comes and occupies the A site. How this factor looks like? So the factor is like this. This factor goes here. Then next, so the event which takes place here, again here it is 5 prime, here it is the here 5 prime and codon, okay, then stop codon is here 3 prime, okay. See how this ribosome looks like. This is P site, this is E site, P site, E site. There is deacylated transfer RNA. Then this is A site. In this A site, here it is factor binding center. Then this is RRF. But the RRF cannot act alone. The RRF cannot act alone. How RRF functions? The RRF recruits some other factors. What are those factors? The RRF recruits it. So the RRF here, it recruits these factors. This is EFG. It is EFG. This is GTP. EFG and GTP. These are the factors RRF recruits it. Once RRF recruits it, then how this entire structure looks like? So it is 5 prime, okay, codon, okay, then stop codon, then 3 prime. Then see the structure here, okay, then E site, P site, A site, E site, P site, A site. Okay, so this recruitment, after this recruitment, of course, here it is the deacylated transfer RNA is present, and here it is RRF. This is RRF. and here this is factor binding center. Then here it is the EFG and GTP. This is GTP and here it is EFG. Okay. Now once this binding taking place, then next here the GTP is hydrolyzed into GDP. Okay. Then deacylated the transfer RNA from the P site and E site, they are released. Then how this position looks like? Here, how this position looks like? Let us see. Here, it is again 5 prime. So, codon, okay. Then stop codon, okay. Then 3 prime, okay. So, you can see here it is. So, this is E site, P site, A site. So, this E site, there is no deacylated transfer RNA. P site, there is no deacylated transfer RNA. And because they are released, then we have this RRF here, and then here it is, factor binding center is present. Factor binding center is present. Then here, you see the change. That is EFG and there is GDP. GTP is converted to GDP. Then the next event which is taking place here is IF3 enters. As you know, IF3 plays very important role. The IF3 plays very important role in the translation process. It doesn't allow 50S and 30S to come together. Once IF3 is here, then this RRF, the RRF comes out. This is the RRF comes out, and also release of this EFG and also there is GDP. Then immediately what it happens? Let us see here. So there is, here it is the 50S ribosome, okay. Then here E site, P site, A site, okay. This is E site, P site, A site. Then here it is the 30S ribosome, here it is. Then IF3 is present. Okay, so one should not under the wrong impression that only these sites are there at 50S. They are extended to the 30S also. 30S also. Okay, so they are separated. Also, there is separation of the messenger RNA. When you see the initiation and elongation, termination, there is a similarity in the pattern, one particular pattern which is taking place. Okay, they are mediated so by an orderly, okay, orderly fashion. So by a series of interdependent, okay, interdependent, okay. So factor binding, see the factor binding, okay, releasing events. Okay, releasing events. Okay, you can see the various factors we have seen in all these steps. So there are many factors are there. Factor binding and releasing events are there. Okay, this has to take place in a stepwise. If it doesn't take place, so then the translation cannot be there. If previous step is not taking place, next step will not take place. So this can be taken as a weak point for the translation as far as the antibiotics are concerned, because particular antibiotic will be acting on particular step. If it stops the step, entire translation is stopped. So cell growth cannot take place. Okay, that is the one particular aspect. It is explored by the antibiotics. Then let us finally we see nascent protein. Nascent polypeptide or nascent protein. So it contains formyl methionine peptide. Formyl methionine peptide. So formyl methionine peptide will not be there. Okay, so formyl group is removed. Formyl group is removed by deformylase. Formyl group is removed in the form of formic acid. Okay, then releasing the methionine, okay, peptide. If you think every protein or polypeptide contains methionine, so you are mistaken. Okay, so the methionine is also removed. The methionine is also removed. Okay, methionine is for the initiation. Okay, then by the aminopeptidase. Okay, so leads to peptide. What is the energy spent on addition of one particular amino acid. I am talking about the addition of one amino acid into a polypeptide, not talking about entire process. So energy aspect, when you talk about, the first one is in the activation of amino acid, okay, that is 2 ATP. Then second is, okay, binding of amino acyl transfer RNA to a site. So that is 1 GTP. Then third one is translocation process. Translocation process where from polypeptide from the A site is translocated into the P site, 1 GTP. Total 4 GTP for this purpose. Not other things I am talking about. What is spent on the termination, I am not talking about. I am only talking about for each amino acid incorporation, this much energy is spent. Let me summarize the termination aspects in prokaryotic system. Okay, the objectives which we set in this one to study various aspects of the termination of translation in prokaryotes. Two events which take place. The first one is recognition of stop codons. Second one is hydrolysis and release of the polypeptide. These are called releasing factors. This process is carried out by releasing factor RFs. So the class 1 and class 2. What is the function of the class 1? It is a stop codon recognition and also trigger the hydrolysis. Whereas class 2 stimulate release of class 1 after the release of the polypeptide. Let us compare with the prokaryotic and eukaryotic system and the class 1. And in this both, here the prokaryote 2 releasing factors are there. RF1 recognizes UAG, RF2 recognizes the UGA. Whereas UAA is recognized by both. Whereas eukaryotic system only one factor is there, that is ERF. It recognizes all three factors. Then let us go to the class 2 factor. It is RF3 factor. So in the prokaryotic system, ERF3 in the eukaryotics. So RF3 is associated with the GTP, like EFG in the elongation process of the prokaryotic system, and IF2 in the initiation process. Okay, then EF2U also in the elongation process. Okay, this is what is happening. Then, so the only difference is RF3 has got the more affinity towards the GDP, whereas EFG, IF2, EF2U has got the more affinity towards the GTP. So what are these releasing factors? They are proteins. So how they act? Protein RNA interactions mediate it. The 3 amino acids are there which form a protein codon which interacts and recognizes. So here at this place in the ribosome, there is a factor binding center. The factor binding center at the ribosome, it is not pertaining to only amino acyl site. Okay, so where this RF1 binds at the amino acyl site, so this protein codon recognizes it. Okay, this is what happens. Then hydrolysis process is going to take place. So in this hydrolysis, the polypeptide is released. Okay, then what happens? Next, this RF3 along with the GTP comes into the role. This RF3 and GTP attached to it. So in this condition, what happens here? The GTP is hydrolyzed to the GDP. So conformational changes are brought into the ribosome that leads to the release of the RF1. So then RF1 is released. Then what is it? The RF3 GDP will be here. Okay. Then in this condition, RF3 GDP is also released because here RF3 GDP has got the more affinity towards it one, so less affinity towards the ribosome. Okay, then in the next scenario, what happens? Say for the new round to take place, here RF3 GDP is released. So new round of this translation starting from the initiation which has to take place 70 years cannot work. So what happens? The ribosomal recycling has to take place, where removal of deacylated transfer RNA at the site of P and E that shall be removed, and removal of messenger RNA shall be there, and then 70S ribosome shall be split into 50S and 30S. So there is a ribosomal recycling factor is there, that is RRF. So what happens? This RRF occupies this amino acyl site. Once it occupies, RRF cannot work alone. It recruits EFG, GTP. Once it recruits EFG GTP, here you can see the EFG GTP is recruited. Then the GTP is converted to GDP. Then the deacylated transfer RNA from the P site and E site, which is released. Okay, releasing taking place. Then simultaneously IF3 comes into the picture. Once IF3 is there, IF3 does not allow 30 years and 50 years to come together, that we have seen at the time of initiation. Okay, once IF3 goes away, then 50 years combines with the 30 years. So once it comes, this RRF is released. Okay, EFG GDP is released. Okay, we have the 50 years and we have the 30 years, and messenger RNA comes out. You can see in this one, so there is E side, P side and A side. So IF3 is bound to here. So don't be under wrong impression that these sites are there only in the 50 years. They are spread into the 30 years also. Okay, so it is this entire process of translation from the starting from initiation, elongation and termination is mediated by orderly by series of interdependent factor binding releasing events. So if any of these step, if there is a problem is there, next step cannot take place. This is the weak point of the translation. This weak point is explored by the antibiotics. There are antibiotics, some antibiotics, so they stop the initiation. Some antibiotics, they stop the elongation. Some antibiotics, they stop the termination. Any of this step is stopped, then the translation cannot take place. The bacterial growth cannot take place. How? Antibiotics, they acted. Sometimes combination of antibiotics will be there. One type of antibiotic will be stopping initiation. Other type of antibiotic will be stopping the elongation, so that there will be more potentiality to such antibiotics. Okay, then the new protein which is released, that is what we call nascent protein. So nascent protein, so here it contains and then formyl methionine peptide, but this formyl methionine peptide does not remain in the final peptide or protein. So it has to be removed by the action of deformylase. So formyl group is removed as a formic acid. Then methionine peptide, if you think every protein will have the methionine, no. That also has to be removed. Okay, by the aminopeptidase, and peptide comes out. Okay, what are the energy expenditure? So for this process, so I am talking about only addition of the particular amino acid. I am not talking about what is happening in the initiation, what is energy, and what is required in the at the termination. Only amino acid. So particular amino acid, each amino acid, how much energy is spent? So that is around 2 ATP activation of amino acid, then binding of amino acid transfer into 1 GTP and translocation 1 GTP. Okay, I'm not talking about termination and other aspects. So this is about the termination of the translation or protein synthesis in the prokaryotic system. In the next sessions, we'll take up the eukaryotic initiation, elongation, and termination. Thank you. Thank you very much.